Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Today, we are going to be going over some Realtor safety. Safety is always important. And I feel that, I mean, knock on wood, we haven't had, everybody's been safe. I haven't had any problems or scares, but I know over the many years of, 25 years of starting this company, I've many times talked to agents that had their spidey senses pop up and ask me for what should they do, what they shouldn't do, what can they legally do with clients, and things that you can do to keep yourself safe. Because sometimes some agents think that they have to do certain things. I'm going to go over some of those, that they legally have to do certain things or not do. But there's things that you can do that we've gotten away from because it's so easy to contact people, meet with people, or, people to find out information about you. So things have changed with technology in the world. So we're going to go over, Deb and I are going to go over a few of those. So I'm going to share my screen here, share, and let's play. So can we see that, Deb? Did I do it right?
Can see it, yeah.
All right, so Realtor Safety. Deb, I'll let you handle the first slide. So go ahead.
Okay, so one of the first things you want to make sure that you're doing is build yourself a policy. So on each one of these slides, it's going to say the same thing. And maybe your policy, your individual policy of how you want to meet people is going to be the same regardless of whether you're showing them, whether it's your first meeting or whatever. But sit down and think about things, okay? So where are you going to meet that person? You don't want them coming to your home. So you can either schedule time to meet with them in office. We at Homestar have our headquarters, and then we also have a satellite office up by Willoughby where a lot of people go and meet clients. You can meet them in a public location, right? So when you're sitting down talking to them. So these kind of things, if you're meeting in a public location, of course you have to have a tablet or a laptop with you, but everybody has Wi-Fi these days. A social media, do a social media recon. So what that means is they're going to be looking you up on social media, and you can do the same. Especially if, like Tony said, your spider sense goes off, right? So maybe when you're talking to someone, we get that weird kind of feeling. Look them up. See if you can see anything about that person. Sometimes what happens, and especially with leads that come through the internet, is everyone gets excited when they first get contacted by someone and they don't do a little research on them. So if you're talking to somebody over the internet, whether it's from realtor.com or even if they contact you directly, ask them, where did you get my information from? Where are you located? If they are not in Ohio, you should find out where they are and when they're going to come and meet you in person.
Exactly.
See if you can find them. There's also a thing called Forewarn that most of the board of realtors that we belong to also give you a free subscription to Forewarn. Now, you're not supposed to use this willy-nilly to look up your ex-boyfriend or anything like that, but you can use it for client purposes. And that's what it's there for, to keep you safe. Get identification from them. So you want to make sure that the person that you're talking to and have a pre-approval for is the person that's on that license or state ID, right?
Exactly. No, that's one thing. This one of the things that I've some agents, like I just mentioned when we started this, is that some things that you can legally do can't do. If you want the policy of you got to copy it, everybody's got to send you a picture of their driver's license, someone that you've met or called you that you've never met in person before, you can do that. You're legally allowed to say. And then in today's day and age, it kind of shakes the tree a little bit. If you talk to somebody, go, listen, it's our office policy that if I haven't met anybody, I'm going to meet you for the first time. For our safety, we just need a copy of your driver's license to let us know who you are. And then you'll see how upset they are. You might get feel them out, like how interested are they in that kind of thing. At least a picture of them, that and their name. So if someone says, well, I don't want you to know where I live, I understand that, because I don't want to tell you where I live. Cross out your name, or cross out your address. But again, that's up to you to do. Two, the make and model of their car and their license plate number. So say, hey, just like today with Ubers, if you have taken an Uber, when someone picks you up, you get to know their license plate number and their make of their car. So when you pull up, I just want to make sure I know you're the right person. What's your license plate number? What is your car? So you can let people know on that. And then I'll kind of go over this slide of showing houses. So before we kind of go into, this here, one thing I tell agents is that you don't have a legal requirement to be attached at their hip watching everything that they do throughout a house. So if you don't feel comfortable, and I'm just saying, it's my opinion, doesn't matter if it's a guy, a girl, a couple, a family, it doesn't matter. You can stay at the front door. You can do that. It's not your job. I mean, most agents follow them around, but you don't have to put yourself in situations where you feel uncomfortable. Like many agents that go, I won't go in basements with people. I don't want to be in a basement. Well, fine, don't go in the basement with people. You just let them know, I'm staying up here. I'm staying by the front door. That kind of thing. That's up for you to decide. But here's some other things. Share your schedule. Let everybody know where you are and when you're going to be. Park your car for easy out. So a lot of agents park their car first in the parking lot to get there early, and then someone's parking behind them and kind of got them parked in. Avoid small spaces and getting into certain parts of the house. You never know. Staying between the buyer and the exit, which is good. Stay by that front door. Same with open houses too. Dress for the weather. So, I mean, this sounds silly sometimes, but dress for outside, not inside, just in case. I mean, God forbid you had to run out of the house and you're in whatever, and it's hard to get around, dress for the weather and have a car emergency kit. And things I'm going to add on to this between the last slide and this is, one, you shouldn't use the company as your excuse if you want to. I don't recommend anybody bring anybody in their car anymore. We used to do that. I don't, just for safety and liability purposes. So I always tell people, if they say, I want to get in a car with you, I would suggest not. They have a car, they could follow you to the houses. Most agents do that, but if you have someone insisting on it, maybe there's something there on that. And also, again, just like here, share your schedule, let people know. And one thing another thing I suggest to agents is when making appointments with people, always let them know that you'll be with somebody. So you could let them know, hey, I'm going to be with somebody, even though it might not be true, but at least they have in their mind that you're going to be showing up with a partner, someone else, not by yourself, not in the, at nighttime in a house that's way off the street on that. So those
Absolutely.
are some ideas. And go ahead, Deb, I'll let you take this next slide.
So vacant land, people are like, what do you mean build your policy for vacant land? But we're going back to the same things, because when it's land and you're trekking through somewhere, again, use your senses. I would take someone with me, make sure that you have good shoes, boots, or at least tennis shoes on when you're walking, because not only of treacherous terrain, but also in case you have to get away. If you're looking at a big piece of land and they want to walk it, you could be going far into somewhere. So
Right.
just
Again,
be on alert and pay
this,
attention to what's happening around you.
my suggestion from anybody that has any type of concern or worry, what are you going to talk to them about when they're an acre into, a 5-acre piece of property that's all wooded. What are you going to show them? It's not like walking through the house, like, here's the bathroom, this is updated.
Right.
You see, there's another tree. You don't have to be with them. So every once in a while I get an agent, I'm like, well, do I have to be right next to them and be talking to them the whole time and watch them? No, you just say, I'm staying here by my car. You go out there, look around as much as you want. I'll answer your questions when we come back. So again, knock on wood, we haven't had any situations, but there are stories, there are sad events that happen to realtors every year, and some of us see them on the news. So we don't want that to happen to anybody that's listening.
Yeah,
And
so this is just kind of a recap of things, identify warning signs, develop your own strategies, and make a list of people that you can ask for help. I've had agents in the past, especially women who are just starting out in real estate. They're like, can I text you when I'm going to the showing? Of course you can. Of course you can.
of course, yeah, no,
Let us know.
I have
So
several agents every year that just several times a year I get a text from an agent, hey, I'm going to be here or there. All of our Century 21 Home Star agents, you're welcome to text our text line so our office knows, hey, I'm going to be out here and this is where I'm at. So if someone's looking for me, we at least know where you're at. So if you don't have a friend or relative or someone or things, you can let us know on that too. But and then also, if it's not, I'm giving you my legal opinion of being the broker and owner of our office. When someone calls you on the phone and they don't give you enough confidence to meet them in their conversation, if you didn't ask them any specific discriminatory things like protected class questions, or that they told you any type of protected class system, which are things that are what we can't discriminate to, you can say no. So some agents think that they have, someone calls, I would be discriminatory. Well, how did you know? Did they say anything that these are the protected classes of what people we can't discriminate legally for? Did they tell you any of that? Same with example, I have some agents that have they will not show property unless all of their buyers have a pre-approval. That's not discriminatory. Being able to financially buy a property before you go out to see it is not discriminatory. I get handful of times a year, I got some buyer or potential buyer, or someone calling our agents complaining, saying they wouldn't show me the house without a pre-approval. That's their policy. That's not against the law to do, if you want to do that. So at least they're vetted. They talked to a loan officer, they got their information or social security number that pulled their credit and got a pre-approval, at least something to show that they're, because again, today's day, are some tire kickers out there, people that are just, let's call all these agents and let's go see some houses and maybe I'll find a house and waste your time. So watch out for that.
Right.
And Deb, go over some of our great classes coming up.
Okay, so today's class is
Yeah,
already gone with Mike
already.
Ferrante, but
That's like
his next one is going to be top listing secrets on how to sell your listings and impress sellers. So he's sharing secrets, you guys. December 16th, we of course have Ann Petit here in person. That is an RSVP save your seat only class. So if you need information to that, contact Janelle Kiefer. She'll let you know if we have any seats available for that class. January 5th, Hash has his real estate outlook. And then bankruptcy, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I have taken this class in the past with Hash. It's a really good one. If you don't know a whole lot about bankruptcy and how it affects people's credit and stuff, it's a really good class. You'll learn a lot about the different ones. There's chapter 7, chapter 13, and so on. And he's going to explain all of that and what happens and when you can actually buy a house or not. Those ones are all online. The only in-person one that we have is Ann's.
Yep, that's good stuff. And last,
this one's just a little, it's the holidays, so everyone's in the giving mode and stuff. So just watch out for people. It's cold outside, if you feel like you have an extra blanket or something like that and someone needs it, just share your kindness, because paying it forward always comes back to you twofold.
Definitely. Everybody deserves a home. We do our best. And as realtors, we do that. We try to do that as much as we can for everybody. So, and that's it for today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. There I am. And remember, reach out to Debbie or myself. We're here to help all of you, all of our Century Home and Homestar agents. So I know my schedule's getting booked up the beginning of the year, with some coaching with agents and wanting to putting things off throughout the holidays. So get on our schedule soon.
Yes. And any of you, whether you're new or old, if you want to go over some more ideas to how to develop your own policies, just reach out to me. I can go over those items in detail to keep you safe. But that's our bottom line. Try and help everybody keep you safe. Along that topic, next week, we're going to talk about some risk assessment things that you can do as being a real estate agent for your business.
That's great. Well, thanks, Deb. Thanks everybody for joining us, and hope have a great week, and hope to talk to you many of you very soon. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.